Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction: hacking your own nervous system. I mean, imagine being able to consciously dial down your anxiety or sharpen your focus, not with some pill, but with technology. Well, it's not science fiction anymore. It's actually here. You've probably seen this idea popping up all over your social media feeds, right? But what if I told you that regulating your nervous system is way more than just a trendy hashtag? It's a real scientific and technological shift that's happening right now. And it's not just about feeling a little less stressed. It's about fundamentally changing how we control our own health. So, what does that even mean, to regulate your nervous system? And, how can it actually change your life? We're going to unpack the science behind it and look at the new tech that's making it all possible. And we'll see how these tools could genuinely improve not just our own well-being, but maybe even the world around us. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with why this is all happening now. Then we'll meet the biological superstar at the center of it all. We'll see how you can actually tune it, explore the new tech making it easy, understand why this market is booming, and finally ask what this all means for our future. All right, first up, the age of neuro-wellness. Let's really set the stage and understand the problem that all this new tech is trying to solve. I mean, why is everybody suddenly talking about this? Well, to put it simply, we're all really stressed out. According to Gallup, a staggering 40% of people across the globe feel high anxiety on any given day. Just think about that. Our modern lives, with the constant notifications, the work that never ends, have basically gotten our nervous systems stuck in fight or flight mode. And we just aren't built for that kind of chronic stress. And that's exactly why this is such a big deal. For years, wellness was kind of like putting a Band-Aid on the problem, an occasional massage, a weekend off. But people want more now. We're seeing a shift away from this idea of biohacking for peak performance and more towards bio-harmonization, this daily practice of keeping our mind and body in a state of natural, healthy balance. Okay, so how do we actually get to that state of balance? Well, it's time to meet the key player, the absolute superstar of this whole story, the vagus nerve. It's a part of you that you've probably never thought much about, but trust me, it holds some incredible power. So this is the vagus nerve. It's literally the longest nerve in your entire body, acting like a superhighway that connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, and your gut. But maybe the easiest way to think about it is as your body's built-in brake pedal. When you're stuck in that stress mode, this is the nerve that steps in and tells your body, hey, slow down, everything's cool. It helps you rest, digest, and even fights inflammation. It's a big deal. So how do we know if our brake pedal is working the way it should? Well, we can actually measure it with something called heart rate variability, or HRV. Now here's the cool part. A healthy, relaxed heart doesn't beat like a perfect metronome. There are actually tiny natural variations in the time between each beat. The more variation you have, what we call a high HRV, the more resilient and well-regulated your nervous system is. It's a direct window into how active your vagus nerve is. Okay, so we've got this super important nerve, and we have a way to measure how well it's doing. But here's where it gets really game-changing. You can actually train it. You can actively make your nervous system healthier and more resilient. And one of the most established ways to do that is through a technique called biofeedback. It sounds complicated, but HRV biofeedback is surprisingly simple. First, a sensor keeps an eye on your HRV in real time. Then, it guides you to slow down your breathing to a really steady rhythm, usually around 6 breaths per minute. And as you do this, something amazing happens. Your heart rate and your breathing actually start to synchronize. This state is called coherence, and it's basically like a workout for your vagus nerve, directly strengthening its ability to calm you down. The bottom line, you can literally train your body's stress response with just your breath and a little bit of tech. But, not everyone has time for active training sessions. So now there's this whole new wave of consumer tech popping up to make regulating your nervous system even easier and accessible to pretty much everyone. Now, this is a really important distinction to make. For a long time, vagus nerve stimulation, or VNS, was a serious medical procedure that required a surgically implanted device. But what we're seeing now, it's a completely different ballgame. These are non-invasive consumer devices. No surgery, no prescription. They're designed for you to use at home for general wellness, making this kind of support available to millions for the very first time. And the market is just exploding with these new gadgets. You've got collars, earpieces, all sorts of things. They all work on a similar idea, using gentle pulses or vibrations on your neck or ear, which are key access points to that vagus nerve, to kind of nudge it into action and activate your body's natural relaxation response. The goal is to make it super simple, something you can control with your phone to manage daily stress or get better sleep. And just in case you think this is some niche, fringe trend, think again. This is quickly becoming a massive global industry with some serious money and innovation behind it. I mean, just look at that number. The neurofeedback market alone is projected to be worth $2.6 billion by 2030. That is huge. And it's all being driven by this massive demand for better mental wellness and sharper thinking. This is a movement that goes way beyond just feeling less stressed. It's about actively trying to optimize how our brains work every single day. And the technology is just getting smarter and smarter. The future here is all about personalization. Imagine an AI analyzing your unique brain signals to create a custom training plan just for your brain that you can then use from the comfort of your couch. That's where this is all headed. So what's the big picture here? We've seen the why and the how, but what's the real-world impact going to be? How is this technology actually going to change our lives and maybe even improve our world?
The potential is just immense. We are talking about brand new, non-invasive, drug-free ways to tackle some of our biggest health challenges. Early research is showing these kinds of approaches can help manage high blood pressure, reduce the symptoms of anxiety and depression, and even help people recover from things like long COVID. This could totally change how we think about both mental and physical health.
But of course, with any powerful new tool, we have to talk about the flip side. Ethicists are raising a really important point about something they call responsibilitization. In simple terms, as we get more and more tools to manage our own health, the burden of managing it also gets shifted onto our shoulders. And we have to ask, are we really prepared for that responsibility? And that really is the critical question as we step into this new era. We're getting these incredible tools to directly influence our own minds and our own bodies. The challenge now is to figure out how to use them wisely, to make sure these tools genuinely empower us without creating a whole new set of pressures. This is about so much more than just cool gadgets. It's about forging an entirely new relationship with our own biology.